What you see in this exhibition is a future, taking up residence where detached single-family houses dominated in the past. Looking around you, you can see the best of the single-family house reinterpreted into more compact infill housing with shared gardens along with private patios, front doors that lend identity to the residents inside, flexibility to grow by incorporating an attached studio or to scale back into an ADU. The multifamily buildings blend gentle density into their neighborhoods, create greater potential for affordability, and add a level of fire resilience, resisting the carbon-sucking sprawl through infill development. The suburbs, founded on exclusivity, are now host to inclusivity, and Angelenos previously shut out of owning their own homes have the potential to build wealth. So when you look around the room, what you see is truly Los Angeles, just making more of itself. Tonight's a celebration of the winners, noted on their name tags, and the proposers, many of whom are here tonight. I hope you take the time to engage conversations with them. Over this summer, we will issue a request for qualifications to build a dozen of these small lots, and cityLAB's partnership with the city and the mayor will continue until we see these new housing prototypes under construction. Stay tuned to the website and updated information about the RFQ that will be coming out in August. There are so many people to thank. You have to look at the monitors on the wall. If it takes a village, in this particular case, it takes a megacity. We hope we have captured on these wall screens the names of organizations, all of whom have made essential contributions to this process. And I especially want to thank the cityLAB team, Proussaloglou, Ryan Conroy, Yang Yang, and Marlene Nancy Lopez, who painted that beautiful mural out there. None of this work would be possible without the institution represented by the next speaker. Sarah Dusseault of LA for LA introduced us to BMO California, who has generously sponsored this effort. So join me in welcoming to the podium the person who's going to introduce the mayor, Halé Behzadi, who is BMO's California Vice Chair.
As we celebrate the Small Lots, Big Impacts Design Competition. As a resident of Los Angeles, I fully understand the challenges that our community faces, such as the ongoing housing shortage and the need to rebuild, especially after the fires. Angelenos know how important it is to come together and find meaningful solutions to these challenges, and that's why we're here tonight. At BMO, we believe that owning a home has the power to change lives, especially here in Los Angeles, where innovative solutions are so vital. When individuals and families have access to home ownership, they can truly thrive, and that in turn strengthens our communities. That's why we're so deeply committed to helping people achieve the dream of home ownership, supporting initiatives like Small Lots, Big Impacts that empower Angelenos to build a stronger, more resilient future through new, affordable starter homes. For BMO, this is how we live our purpose, to boldly grow the good in business and in life. Personally, I find the collaboration that has brought us to tonight's event quite remarkable. It's a testament to what we can achieve when we work together toward a common goal. And I'd like to thank the City of Los Angeles, UCLA's cityLAB, and LA for LA for bringing us together tonight and for conducting this contest that will transform lives, families, and make a lasting impact on our community. I'd also like to recognize everyone who participated in the contest. Many of the firms are based right here in Los Angeles, showcasing the strong community support. And of course, finally, I'd like to congratulate the contest winners, and I can't wait to see your designs come alive throughout our city. And now, with great pleasure, that I introduce to you the Los Angeles Mayor, who needs no introduction, the Honorable Karen Bass.
Good afternoon, everyone. everybody. It is great to be here with you today. I was just explaining to staff and some other folks outside that I'm very familiar with this neighborhood. I actually used to live next door in that apartment building. I remember when this was a bank. So it was very exciting to be here and to know all that takes place here. Well, I just have to say a little bit about homelessness in addition to housing. And I see Kevin Keller right there. He knows exactly what I'm going to talk about. He's like, no, please don't. When I came into office, you know, my #1 priority was getting people out of tents, off the streets, and getting them in hotels because that was the housing that was most readily available. But obviously, you can't deal with that long term. It's way too much money. And so right away, we began to say, how do we house people? How do we get to scale at reasonable costs? And then I met Sarah Dusseault actually before that, but it was her brilliance that came together to say, I know we could do it, wanting to do the project here, wanting to provide a contest for people to see how they could get housing built. One of my frustrations was we had all this city property, but if you think about all the government-owned property, it's not just city. I know Cindy knows this far better than I do. But every level of government having property that is just sitting there, and why can't we use that property? How are we ever going to get to scale to, one, get people off the street, but how are we going to get to scale to meet our RENA goals? When I went to a lot of neighborhoods, you know, everybody, upzoning is like a terrible word. I love gentle density. I'm just learning that. That's a great idea. I'm going to go tell people in all the neighborhoods, gentle density. But, you know, a neighborhood like Sherman Oaks, for example, was fine to build housing, but they had their own idea. They didn't want to have big apartment buildings on the same block as single-family homes, but what they were very open to was on the commercial corridors. So I think that the time is now for the maximum creativity, and we are the world center of creativity, to come together and say, how can we get built what we need to have built so it is affordable. I didn't want to tell my young staff how much I paid for rent there. That would be a top secret, because they would be appalled. And when I remember when Los Angeles was affordable, and there's a lot of people who don't know that Los Angeles was ever affordable, but it really was. And how do we get back to that and getting to scale and being creative and taking advantage of the resources that we have here, and the public land is certainly a key resource to get this done. But then we're in the midst of major distractions. I mean, what is going on in our city now? I'm not sure what is going to happen next with the federal government. We're all kind of perplexed. But we have to make sure that we don't allow anything to distract us from this mission of getting Angelenos housed. And you know, I feel so bad for parents who might be in my age range and their kids graduate college and they can't even afford to live in the city that they grew up in. And that just should not be. And so I'm just very excited to be a part of this. So the distraction from the federal government, the distraction from the court case, the distraction from all that is happening in the city, we have to stay focused on the mission, and that is getting Angelenos housed, making Los Angeles an affordable city, and housing is the #1 way we can make Los Angeles affordable. So thank you very much for the work. Opportunity to be here with you. Congratulations to the contest winners, and I want to thank BMO, which has not been in LA for a really long time, but you've come in and made your mark already, so keep doing it.
Thank you
very
for
much.
the partnership.
Oh, absolutely, ongoing.
Woo! That's kind of a showstopper. Sarah Dusseault is going to take over after that. Sarah is the lead strategist at LA for LA.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. I don't have a lot to add, but I do want another round of applause for our mayor, Karen Bass. Her defense of this city in these trying times is pretty darn incredible. So and the fact that we are staying focused as a community on our top issue, which is keeping the city affordable and housing people. And I hope everyone takes an opportunity to see all of these amazing winners. who are thinking about creative ways to build housing faster. The speed is critical, but also the affordability, and actually putting to use government-owned land. I've been involved in many a mayor's race, and we've talked about government-owned land in every mayor's race since I was in high school. So this is actually finally making it happen. So I want to thank BMO again. I want to thank Genesis LA, our CDFI partner that's been looking at how we can partner the next step. I have to thank the incredible team at cityLAB who've been absolutely amazing. Dana, Ryan, Manos, everybody on your team. I also want to thank the mayor's team. Nene's hiding behind a sign as usual. But Nene and Kevin and others on the mayor's team have really made this entire, Karen, and other folks have made this whole idea blossom. And I just think it's so important in these times for us to see joy, creativity, and neighborhoods that really can be the difference. So thank you all for your investment in this evening and in this work. Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Roger Wakimoto, who's Vice Chancellor for Research and Creative Activities at my home, UCLA.
Thank you, Dana. I have to start by partially responding to the mayor, because when I came to UC as an assistant professor, I remember that after a couple months, I looked at my wife and said, we can't afford this place. So anyway, I'm glad I stuck it out because we were able to have a comfortable living. So I want to extend a warm welcome to all of you. As Dana said, I'm the Vice Chancellor for Research and Creative Activities at UCLA. And on behalf of UCLA, our Chancellor, our new Chancellor, Julio Frank, and the School of Arts and Architecture, I want to add my congratulations to all of the winners. I want to acknowledge Mayor Bass and her team for spearheading the initiative for affordable home ownership opportunities in city-owned small lots across LA. UCLA has partnered with the city on a number of occasions. I thought I'd mention a few. We help appoint a Blue Ribbon Committee that is addressing the wildfire recovery. We worked with the city and FEMA to use our newly acquired research park, you might remember, as a disaster recovery center for the wildfires. And our UCLA Labor Center has championed the rights of immigrants in the workforce. And this evening, UCLA cityLAB is collaborating with Mayor Bass's team to address our needs for more housing. Research to solution is something I felt very passionate about. In fact, my office has strongly supported this. Our own strategic plan, goal number 1, is to emphasize community-engaged scholarship. And what does that mean? That means that our engagement, UCLA's faculty with the city, requires a two-way, equal conversations with the city as an equal partner with the goal of jointly determining why we're even entering into this partnership. Sometimes university faculty think they know the solutions. When they don't, they need to reach out to the community and jointly agree to this. Community-engaged scholarship is so critical that actually my office created something called Public Impact Awards that we award to our faculty. The awardees must not only produce really outstanding seminal research, but they have to demonstrate how this research was translated to the public good. And it shouldn't surprise you that one of our past recipients was Emmanuel. So as a shining example of this engagement is the effort that Dana has led. cityLAB has worked closely with Mayor Bassett and the LA Housing Department, and the result is Small Labs, Big Impacts initiative. So we support and thank Mayor Bass and her team for her efforts to find more equitable, sustainable, resilient, and beautiful housing solutions for Angelenos. From today's design competition to the launch and development of that housing, we look forward to the future along with the working along with the LA City Council and Mayor Bass. So good luck, and know that UCLA is always here to partner with you.
Thanks, Roger. And hello, everyone. I'm Brian Conroy with cityLAB. Thank you for joining us tonight to celebrate this truly incredible work. And I think more than that, we want to celebrate the spirit of collaboration that's really driving this project. I'm seeing a sense of generosity in this whole initiative All around you are valuable and insightful ideas that may have been kept otherwise private, but this group, these respondents, have chose to share their expertise with their city and with their profession, so in hopes of all of us living in a more inclusive place. And I think that generosity is all the more meaningful given how ambitious this brief was. This project is taking on problems well beyond the sort of typical role of the architect or the developer or the landscape architect. Things like unattainable home ownership, or rising rents, or climate resilience, and so on. And so in the face of that, when the brief asks about something like staying power in a city designed for mobility rather than permanence, it sounds daunting, and yet Spinagou's proposal shows flexible homes that reflect the evolving shapes of households over time. It moves and lives as lives and needs change. Where the brief is calling for replicability, we see Ayun Bashar's proposal show existing single-family homes, which are so common across our city, as the building blocks themselves of greater density on underbuilt parcels. Where our brief is calling for adaptability, word in SSK right here, has shown how a starter home can itself become a forever home, and in so doing, offering both a lower barrier to ownership and a path towards neighborhood continuity. And then lastly, where the brief is calling for performance, we see Studio Ivanod's design include flexible spaces for small-scale commerce, both to support neighborhood businesses and also create secondary income streams for common ownership trusts. So let this work remind us then that architects, in the face of such overlapping challenges, are natural synthesizers. These teams have wrestled with intractable problems and delivered coherent and compelling solutions. And taken together, these proposals remind us that the design community is an essential partner in charting the city's future. Our collective strength lies in connecting these ideas and the people and the histories of this place to reimagine what might be possible for all of us. And so cityLAB could not be more proud to play a role in convening this group, and we are committed to stewarding these ideas toward reality. And with that, I'm pleased to present my colleague Manas Proussaloglou to talk about the next steps of this initiative. Manas.
Hey everyone, and thanks Ryan. I'm the last one, so shouldn't be getting back to talking here. So I'm going to speak a little bit about what comes next, and I'm going to do so both with a lot of excitement, but also with the steely determination that I think we all know is going to be necessary to turn these great ideas into new built housing models. Stage 2 is going to be a request for qualifications issued by the Los Angeles Housing Department, in which development teams will win development rights to one or more of the city's land holdings. The RFQ will include 12 sites across 10 council districts in Los Angeles. And I'd like to stress how well the work on display maps to the sites that are going to be on offer. The RFQ sites will highlight the breadth and variety of LA's residential land, from gentle density sites to shared future ones, like again you see on the towers behind you. And we're crafting the RFQ to capture the variety of development teams we expect to be interested in this initiative. The RFQ will be open to everyone. That's important for all of us to know. Winning the design competition is not a prerequisite for submitting. However, I also want to stress that you're all winners, at least many of you guys in the room today, precisely because you produce some of the best ideas for building new housing in Los Angeles. As we look to increase the city's development capacity, we'll lean most heavily on the experts and housing advocates in the room today. So between tonight and the RFQ's expected publication in August of this year, we plan to hold a series of technical assistance sessions to directly build our collective capacities, to raise the level of submissions to the RFQ, and to help teach LA's next generation of housing innovators how to build on both public and private lots all across the city. The first session will focus on housing policy to explain legislation like SB 9 or SB 1123, two laws that were utilized by a lot of the submissions tonight, or even up to the TOC program or the CHIP ordinance that was recently passed. These complex programs help us build more housing in Los Angeles, and to really understand them is to really understand what's possible when we build here. The second will dive into small lot construction economics, exploring feasible pro formas, and financing strategies that will work on these little lots. The third, which will take place after council has voted on the suite of sites in the RFQ, We'll dive into the sites themselves, answering questions and helping development teams make their decisions about what sites they want to pursue. And throughout, we'll organize meet and greet events like this one, so LA's brightest minds can come together from the architecture and development communities and from the affordable and for-profit communities as well, to partner and learn from each other. So, to close, I'd like to reiterate a little bit about what my colleagues and teammates have said before me. First of all, congratulations to all the winners for your fantastic work. The city is better because of your contributions, and I think we all really believe that to our core. Second, congratulations, I guess, goes to our team for the work we've done and preemptively for the work we still need to do. This effort aims to show that governments can work. We can still build things, we can make good on our promises, and I'm really confident that this team is the team that's going to make that happen. And finally, realizing that much of the hard work is in front of us, let's all commit to redoubling our efforts to turn ideas into build projects and deepen our commitment to achieving big impacts on these small lots. So this concludes our presentation portion. Please help yourself to more tacos, have a few more drinks, and find yourself a competition winner to talk to if you're looking for someone to talk to. Thanks everyone, please enjoy yourselves, we appreciate you.